This is Dante Williams, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, as another opponent bites the dust, one of the good things about biting the dust and losing to the best fighter of this era is you get a little bit of that stardust when you get out of the ring, right? And you become a little bit more popular. Hell, you may even start being the actual A-side in a lot of main event fights, right? So now that Marcos Maidana has this star power, the question is, what is he going to do with it? Well, Keith One-Time Thurman, he was just interviewed a week ago, and he said he would love to fight Marcos Maidana next. Of course, the fight makes sense. You have two power punchers in the ring. You have two guys that's going to be gunning for the KO from the first round to the final bell, right? So it seems like it would be a great fight to make. But the only question once again is, will Marcos Maidana take Keith Thurman's or accept Keith Thurman's challenge? Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Marcos Maidana, he already rejected a fight with Keith Thurman twice in the past. So if he rejects it again, this will be a third time, okay? Which makes no sense at all. Once again, Marcos Maidana, he plays the role of the tough guy. You're playing the role of the tough guy. There is no reason for you to turn down a fight with Keith Thurman. Now, you remember how these decaps were saying that Floyd Mayweather was terrified. Oh, he was scared to death that Maidana would use his personal gloves, right? Mayweather was so scared, and that's the reason why Mayweather didn't want him to use his gloves. Forget about the fact that Maidana got caught trying to use some used soft-ass spongy gloves the very first time. Basically some Louis Resto gloves, right? And if you don't know who he is, you need to look him up. But basically, we know how the double standards work, so they're going to say Floyd Mayweather, he's afraid, he's a coward, and so on and so forth. You know what? Just for the sake of this conversation, let's go ahead and go with that. Let's just say Mayweather, he was scared. He was terrified that Maidana would use his special gloves, right? So if Floyd Mayweather was scared, but he still fought Maidana, he still got in the ring, he still fought him, they just used different gloves. If you decaf say Mayweather was scared and that's why he didn't let Maidana use his gloves, then what would you say if I told you that Maidana, he wouldn't even get in the ring with Keith Thurman and turn down a fight with him 2 times, and he might turn down a third challenge from Keith Thurman, regardless what the gloves are, right? If I told you that Maidana was going to do that, what would you say about Maidana? Keep in mind, you already said that Floyd was a coward and he was scared because he wouldn't even let Maidana use his gloves. But remember, Floyd Mayweather, he fought Marcos Maidana, right? What would you say about Maidana then? Would you say he's just as much of a coward as Floyd Mayweather is? Would you? Of course you wouldn't. Of course there's going to be a double standard, right? Of course you're going to say, oh, no, Dante. It's different. It's different with Maidana. And what I would say is say no more. I know it's different. Believe me, I know it's different. So anyway, that is the question. Will Maidana take the challenge? Now, we know that Floyd Mayweather, he's known for fighting against guys that are stronger than him, right? Marcos Maidana, on the other hand, he's usually the power puncher, okay? He usually goes in the ring as the power puncher, and he's, fighting against guys that are usually not as strong as he is. So what happens when you have an opponent for the first time that's as strong or stronger than you are, younger than you are? He's one of the top contenders in your division. He's always going for the knockout. Will you be willing to get in the ring with someone who's stronger than you are? That is the question. We'll see. We'll see. And, you know, as far as Keith Thurman goes, this is the type of victory he needs to propel him into the Mayweather sweepstakes, right? Now, we know there's no guarantee he's going to get the Mayweather fight, but with a win like this, it will be hard to deny him. It will be very hard to deny him. I mean, you know, Keith Thurman, there's a couple people out there that he could fight to propel him to that next level. I would say once, of course, is Maidana, Juan Marquez. We know Juan Marquez will never take that fight. We know Pacquiao would never take that fight. But you got Kell Brook. You have Amir Khan. You know, it's a couple fights out there that can really help Keith Thurman leap to that next level. But for now, once again, there's no reason for Maidana to turn down this fight. And I know the fans, I know you fans, you're going to try to protect him. You're going to say, oh, well, he shouldn't fight Keith Thurman. There's no reason for him to fight Keith Thurman. Maidana's already made a good living, because that's the kind of messages they sent me before. Ridiculous stuff like that. But anyway, it'll be very interesting, once again, to see who Maidana chooses to fight next. Hopefully he fights someone who's at least in the top 10 at the welterweight division. That's all I got. I'm on to the next one.